record so people aren't mad at us trying to get on this later. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know that some of these faces I haven't seen before, so it's exciting to meet some new people. I'm going to be sharing my screen, so you'll see part of our videos and everything, but if you guys have any questions at any point in time, there's a little chat box that you should be able to access, and what I'll do is that by the end of the call, we'll just answer any questions that you have. So if you have any, pop them in there, just so that you can remember them at the end so we can ask them. So let me share my screen here. All right. I think this one, right? Presenter view.
I just pressed this button. But...
yeah, I'll just do this one to be safe.
Press it again.
Oh, I'm not the best at this technical stuff. Hold on just a second.
Just
Is it view?
You press this button again, it'll do it.
I'll do slideshow. That's the one I've done before.
Okay.
Okay, guys, can you see this? Just nod your head up and down if you can. Sean Grove, can you see this? Okay.
Nice.
Thanks. Awesome. All right, guys. So who am I? My name is Brooke. I am kind of the founder of Fit Boss Revolution, but Sean is actually the one who introduced us to this whole Beachbody coaching thing, actually introduced Jason to it. I knew a little bit about coaching before I signed up to coach. I had been following a few coaches on Facebook. I really didn't know what it was all about. And this was kind of before they had webinars and stuff that I could jump on and figure out what it was all about. So it's really awesome that we have these informative, oh, there we go. Oh, hold on just a second. Can you guys still see me? It just kicked me out, so I'm gonna log back in here. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I did that.
That's weird. Still good? And it's recording? Okay. So anyway, we didn't have the webinars back then, so it was really kind of a Google search to kind of figure out what Beachbody was all about. But we're going to be sharing a lot of information with you guys tonight, and I hope that we answer all of your questions. We just got married in September. That's our dog Fiona right here, also follows us everywhere. I was a full-time hygienist whenever I started as a coach. And Jason was a pediatric dentist full-time, doing a lot of hours either in the office or in surgery. We'll be talking a little bit about that as well. So when I started my coaching kind of career, I had already kind of started my health and fitness journey, but I hadn't really figured out a good, lifestyle for me yet. So I had been in the gym, I had tried some different things out, and on the left there is my before picture. So that was even after I had been going to the gym because I was too, I was worried about what I looked like, but I was more just not really confident yet to take a picture, my before picture. I wish I would have taken it a lot sooner than I did, but I waited until I lost some weight to take a picture. And then the after picture was actually after I did a 21-day fix. So anyway, when I started, I had a past binge eating disorder, and I had really kind of gotten it under control for the most part, but I was still dealing with a lot of emotional stuff. Like I said, I was a full-time dental hygienist, and I was sometimes working anywhere from 5 to 6 days a week just to kind of try to make ends meet. And then I was also in a lot of credit card debt from a previous relationship, not Jason, where my credit card was kind of linked to 2 people, and I kind of got into some credit card debt from someone else.
You're making out.
Hold on just a second.
Yeah,
if you guys don't care, do you care to mute yourselves? Because it's really loud on our end. And I can't. There we go.
That's good.
All right, I think I got you guys. So anyway, and then I was also kind of living paycheck to paycheck, which was really frustrating for me because I was, I was a dental hygienist, and I went to school for 4 years, worked my tail off, and of course, they always said in college, as long as you, go to college, get a degree, get a good job, you'll be fine. And I was still just ticked at the fact that I felt like I was still living paycheck to paycheck. So that's why I ended up working 5 and 6 days a week when a hygienist normally works around 3 or 4. But I was filling in on Saturdays, just trying to make some extra income. I really felt like I was stuck. I don't know if anybody's ever felt that way with a career, but I kind of got to a point after about 2 years of dental hygiene where I just kind of felt like, is this it? Am I always going to be living paycheck to paycheck? And am I always going to be stuck in this dental office and doing this forever? And it's not that I didn't love hygiene. I think that it was just I got burnt out from it. So I still say that I love dental hygiene and I would go back and do it in a heartbeat, but I just wouldn't do it for the amount of hours I was doing it. And I had very little time off, which was something that was really, it kind of bothered me because I don't live close to family. And Jason liked to travel a lot. And so whenever he would go, I was never able to really go with him unless it was Christmas break. But we've had very few days off. And even if I had to take off for a funeral and things like that, it was like I had to find someone to fill in for me. It was just really stressful. And it just got to the point where I was resenting my dental hygiene job. So I like to start with this just so you guys can kind of see, because I feel like this is one of the first things I get asked, kind of like, well, how do you make money with Beachbody? When did you make money? How did it work out for you? So my first 3 months, I like to show this because it's all over the place what you can do with Beachbody. And then after 6 months, just being consistent, I made about $300 a week. And then at 15 months, let me move some faces here. I can't see that. I was making about $2,000 a week. And at this point in time, I'm making around $3,000, $3,500 a week. And I didn't leave my dental hygiene job until about July of just this last year. I was still working full-time, part-time, and trying to do both. And I finally got to the point where I was just kind of like, all right, I need to go all in with coaching. And so Jason kind of went all in by accident. We returned from our honeymoon in September, and he had a very high-paying, awesome job with the same dental company that I worked for, and they let him go the day he returned back from his honeymoon. So that was kind of a shocker to us, and we kind of felt like the rug got pulled out from underneath us. We had just bought a house. We just paid pretty much cash for a wedding. And it was really, really frustrating for us. And it made us realize how important it is to build something under our own roofs instead of under someone else's, because he built up an amazing dental practice that wasn't his. And he was just an employee. So it was a big wake-up call.
Yeah, I think that, one thing to note there is when that happened in September, that I never realized what the true importance is of having different income streams. Because before, there I am with, earning $500,000 a year or whatever, and then having a couple other things with investments, but we never realized, did we ever really need to do something like Beachbody or something like, and so it's amazing how the world works, that it's so important to have different revenue streams for many different reasons.
I think it's important to note too that Jason and I obviously he didn't, but I had no intentions of being a full-time coach or letting this be my full-time career at all. It just kind of happened over time that I fell more and more in love with it, and I saw the potential over time, and that's when I kind of went all in, and I said, why am I not doing this full-time? So if that's not your intentions, of course, that doesn't have to be. We have coaches who just love being a coach, and we're going to talk about this, kind of just for the discounts in the community. And that's perfectly fine as well. I just always like to put this in the beginning because everybody always asks me about this. And of course, this is, like I said, 2 years as a coach. I'm making about $3,000 a week, around $3,500 a week now. I am full-time. I was able to pay off all of my credit card debts. I log into my Chase account, and it's no longer me checking out at the grocery store and worrying if I have $130 in my bank account. I don't have to do that anymore. It's a big deal for me. I finally have enough money where I can run my card and there's no worries. And I also am no longer trading time for money. Because that's what I was doing before. It was like the only thing I could really do. I wasn't going to get a raise being a dental hygienist. Very rarely do we get raises. It was just basically the harder and longer I worked, the more money I would make. So the more hours I worked, the more money I made, and I was just sick of it.
And what's really interesting about that is that the income that she's making now, the way that I was always seeing it is staying full-time, and then you have a part-time income that can go towards things. And we now have a system where every week money just goes directly into long-term savings, long-term investing, which is really what one of the main motivators, one of the big reasons of why we're speaking to all of you guys.
And it was a big wake-up call for me when he got kind of let go from his job, because I became all of a sudden the breadwinner, kind of, and I had no intentions of that happening.
For a couple weeks.
I had no intentions of that happening. But what's really cool is the fact that, Jason signed me up. So if I make money with Beachbody, he makes money with Beachbody. So it was funny how, everybody was like worried about us. And I'm like, actually, we're all right. I don't think that they saw what I was doing as an actual income stream. So that kind of made me feel proud after that happened. Not happy about it, but we were proud. So the next slide is going to be a video just kind of showing you about Team Beachbody, the history. It's very short and quick, and I'll just go ahead and play that. If it will play. Might take a second. There we go.
Beachbody, creator of the hottest and most respected fitness products in the world, now has an opportunity for you to join us by becoming a Team Beachbody coach. As a coach, you'll be given the opportunity to earn income by sharing the best fitness programs and nutritional supplements on the market today.
Instead of doing the obvious thing, selling our hit infomercial products through retail stores, we asked a handful of our customers to become independent distributors. We call them coaches, but they're not fitness or nutrition experts. These are people who simply love the products and love sharing them with people because they actually work.
As a Team Beachbody coach, you're partnering with a company that stands above all others with this unique opportunity. And because we need your help to help other people, there's no better time to get involved as a Team Beachbody coach than right now. There's a massive health crisis throughout North America. Just in the United States, 2 out of every 3 adult Americans and 2 out of every 5 children are considered overweight or obese. This means more than 200 million people are unhealthy.
The neat thing about what we have with Beachbody is an opportunity to make a difference, to change people's lives, to reverse that trend.
Beachbody CEO Carl Deichler and President John Congdon began combating the health crisis in 1998 by conceiving a simple solution to this massive problem: sell top-notch fitness products and provide unprecedented peer-to-peer support to help people get fit. The phenomenal success of Beachbody is undeniable. And when John and Carl examined that success, they realized that a large part was due to satisfied customers sharing their fitness success and passion for Beachbody with those closest to them, as well as on the Beachbody message boards. This natural interaction between customers was recognized by Carl and John and led them to develop a compensation plan where Beachbody would begin paying people for what they were already doing for years, sharing Beachbody products. Thus, the Team Beachbody Coach opportunity was launched.
I now make more money in my Beachbody business than I ever made in my restaurant business.
To fit in those jeans that never thought I'd be able to fit in again, and I'm able to save money, have money in a savings account, and that feels really good. After about 3 to 4 months, that's when it started to really get me really excited, because my check for 1 week was $1,000.
Decide, commit, succeed. The Beachbody mantra is not some snappy cereal box slogan. We guarantee that when a customer decides to commit to a Beachbody fitness program, they will succeed. But we've learned that success doesn't just come from buying a fitness program. Nutrition plays a critical role, and Beachbody's ultra-premium health shake, Shakeology, has become one of the best-selling products in the history of the company because of our Team Beachbody coaches.
Shakeology is what they call a market disruptor, because while competitors have come up with Me Too energy drinks and antioxidant juices, we've created the absolute highest quality weight loss and health shake on the market today, period. The absolute best.
The opportunity to share products that you love and earn money while doing so is something we're proud of at Beachbody. This is how it works. First, you earn a 25% commission on all retail sales. It's just that simple. For example, if you have 3 Shakeology sales a month, you would earn enough to pay for your own monthly supply of the healthiest meal of the day. You can also earn an even higher commission when you sell our exclusive Team Beachbody Challenge Pack, which is a one-stop solution for customers. A challenge pack includes a fitness program of their choice, a 30-day supply of Shakeology, and a free 30-day VIP membership in Team Beachbody's premium online club, which offers customized meal planning, exclusive video content, and so much more. And many of our successful coaches use Beachbody challenge groups to engage their customers and coaches by providing support and accountability to help them achieve their optimal fitness results. And if you choose to build a team of coaches, we have a lucrative bonus program that lets you earn from your whole team's productivity. And the rewards don't stop. We also created the Beachbody Challenge contest, where coaches and their customers can submit their success stories and have the opportunity to take part in over $1 million in cash and prizes. Here's some good news to make it easy for you. We provide every coach with a website and an online office where you can access sales and marketing tools, as well as a library of training and personal development resources. Plus, we handle all the product fulfillment and customer service for you. All you need to do is direct customers to your website. And when they make a purchase through you, you earn a generous 25% commission, and all your income is paid weekly.
Do not have to be an expert to be a Beachbody coach. Anybody can do this. When we started, we didn't know what we were doing, and then Beachbody provided us with the tools we needed to be successful. And it's been a wonderful ride.
Many coaches earn enough to make a car payment or enjoy a vacation. Some earn enough to quit their day jobs. And a few top coaches even earn more than $1 million a year. Beachbody has the most popular fitness programs in the world. Programs like P90X, Insanity, Turbo Fire, and Brazil Butt Lift, just to name a few. And to support that success, we spend over $100 million a year in advertising these programs. So you can reap the benefits of that exposure and feel confident knowing that as a Team Beachbody coach, you're partnering with the #1 brands on the market. There are many reasons in addition to the extra income to becoming a Team Beachbody coach. To get fit and healthy, to get great discounts on Beachbody products, to earn travel and incentive trips to some great vacation destinations, or even to work out with your favorite Beachbody celebrity trainer. But most importantly, the time and freedom to do what you want to do most.
The extra income with Beachbody, for me, is freedom. Freedom to be at home with my family instead of going off to a job every day. It's the freedom to do what I want when I want.
Think about your own situation. Is what you're doing now going to give you the lifestyle that you and your family deserve?
You want to go to your kids' baseball games, soccer games, graduations, recitals, be there for them. You can do that. It's up to you. You can become the CEO of your own business as what we call an independent Team Beachbody coach. We're going to make sure that you have everything you need to be successful and provide you an amazing opportunity to achieve all your financial dreams. Now the decision to go for it is yours. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to working with you. Let's get started.
All right, so I know that was a little long-winded, but what's really cool is those people are real. And whenever we look back at it now, like when I first watched it, I was like, oh, that's just actors, they're not real. But when we look at it now, I'm like, we know
now we're
probably
friends with them.
75% of those people. And now I'm looking at it and they said, oh, a few $1 million earners. Well, we know a few ourselves. So it's really cool to see and look back now at all of that. So I hope that already answered some of your questions, but we'll kind of go into the depth here with a few more. So what are some benefits of being a coach other than what was just discussed in the video? What's really cool is you get to work at your own pace. So I know that there's a lot of coaches who are working a full-time job or people who are interested in coaching, and they think, well, there's just no way that I'll have time to do this. Well, you set your own work hours, and we help you with our training to kind of figure out how many hours you need a week to work. Usually it's just one a day to get you kind of up and going. But this isn't something where you're going to spend like the weekend in training and things like that. Now we train you, it's all online, and we do have team calls like this as well. You can build your business however you would like, as fast as you would like. And I think that's important because everybody comes from different backgrounds. If you're not already fit and healthy, I think that people worry that that's not going to be something that somebody wants in a coach, but that's absolutely false. It's not true. We'll talk a little bit about that here in a little bit. But it's all, you kind of just start where you're at and you start your journey where you're at, and you can build it however you would like. So that means like if you are a group fitness instructor, for example, you can kind of build it that way, and it's kind of your business. So you get to choose how you want to build your business. you hold yourself accountable. I think that that's one of the biggest reasons a lot of us became coaches. If you kind of slap that coach label on your shirt, you're thinking, okay, I can't let my challengers and clients down. I have to jump in and do my workout tonight because they're all watching me. I've got eyes on me. And it holds you accountable to your own health and fitness goals. There's no ceiling on your income potential. There's low starting costs. So we'll talk about the starting costs here in a little bit. But when we look at other, I guess, multi-level marketing companies and things like that, I think people who have been a part of those in the past have been asked to put in a large amount of money. And that becomes a little scary. And this is so minimal. Everything that you get to sign up is basically what you're going to use for your own journey. So it's no big deal when you sign up. You personally develop. I think that when we ask our coaches on our team, what's the number one benefit from you being a coach and becoming a coach? Since then, what has changed? And I think the number one thing is people have changed themselves personally. They've developed and grown into someone who they wanted to be. They have more confidence. They have better relationships. Communication skills get better. Whoa,
Pepper.
a dog.
Sorry.
A lot of people, hold on just a second. There we go. Because a lot of people start this journey kind of not really knowing a whole lot about themselves, because when you have a job, you don't necessarily dig into that kind of stuff at your job. So it's really neat to have kind of a side job where you are growing as an individual. You get to meet amazing people. Our team, we look today and we have coaches from almost all 50 states and the 7 provinces in Canada. That's what you say for Canada, right? Providence?
Province.
Province.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoops.
Province.
Province.
All the Canadians are laughing.
Sorry, Canadians. I'm so
What a
sorry.
silly American.
Sorry, guys. But you get the point. So we have people from everywhere. And before we know it, we're going to be all over the world. So we're super excited to be kind of expanding over the next couple of years. And you get to change your life while changing others. And I think that's important because you don't have to be at your goal now. You're going to do that as you go. So
let me just add on the benefits of being a coach is that what it allows you to do is it allows you to be a better person for everything else that you do in life. It allows you to be a better husband, better wife. You approach a better father, mother. You approach your job differently. Because a lot of us, if you've always been an employee, you just you follow the trend and you do what you're told. If you're not, you're fired. And this is starting your own business. And so you have to learn through failure. You have to learn about other people. And the way that we do that is we learn about ourselves. So.
Yeah, and I don't know how many coaches on our team have said, they've kind of found themselves through this journey. And that sounds cliche and weird, but it's the truth, because we kind of force you guys to work on yourselves, because if you're not working on yourselves, you can't help other people to your best of abilities. And it's really cool, especially us being in healthcare, how much it changed how I treated patients. Because my communication, that was something they didn't teach really in college with dental hygiene. And being in the health field, that's a very important skill that you should have. And that was something they didn't teach. So it was really funny how much more I connected to my patients and understood where they were coming from and had more empathy just from becoming a coach. So I like to go through what we are about and what we're not about. So we are not health and fitness experts. It's really important. I don't have a health and fitness degree. He doesn't have a health and fitness degree. But you can. If you have one, that's great too, but you don't have to. We are not salespeople. I think that that's one of the number one things that I hear. If you follow, Sorry, I gotta mute. If you guys follow some of the coaches on our team, I hope that when you follow us, you don't feel like you're ever being sold to, or that we're someone that you would want to avoid if you saw us out in public because you're afraid we're going to come and ask you to host a party or something like that. We don't host any parties being a coach, but we really teach our team not to be that person. We want to be someone that people come to, not who they run away from. And I actually get people from other teams that will come to me and say, I just love how you guys run your team. I notice, like, if I see posts, I know it's your team because they're so real and genuine, and that's how you do it. You don't do it by trying to sell somebody something. We are not at our own health and fitness goals, and we are not perfect. Right now, I am almost 5 months pregnant, and I'm definitely not at my health and fitness goals, and I'm still rocking out this business, which is crazy to me because I was really afraid that people would really not want to follow me if I was pregnant and on my own journey, through the ups and downs of pregnancy. And that's totally false. People are inspired by you taking action. They could care less about your before and after. Even though you may have been attracted to someone who's on our team or in Beachbody because they had a great before and after, I guarantee you were connected more to their story and not to the before and after, because everybody here has an amazing story. We are not social media experts. We teach you how to, do your social media and things like that, but we're not experts. We are not all extroverts. I'm definitely not. He is. Jason's an extrovert. I'm a big introvert. And we are not business professionals. I just had to do my taxes today, and Excel I hate it. So we're definitely not business experts. We are always working on our own health and fitness journey. And I think that's so important because there's always room for improvement somehow, whether it's performance-based, stamina, things like that. We're always working towards a health and fitness goal, but we're never done with that. And we're always sharing openly about that, even if we fall off the wagon. Because I think it's so important. And I think that's why people are so drawn to Beachbody, because we are real and we share our ups and downs. We're not, the Instagram famous fitness people that get paid to be on Instagram, basically, who are constantly taking pictures of our abs. That's great and everything, but it's not realistic to the person who is really struggling mentally and physically with their health and fitness. And that's who we want to inspire, which is the majority of Americans. We do share what we love. So instead of selling, we just share. That's what we do, and we teach you guys how to do that. And we're always real and honest, always learning, pushing ourselves. I think that's important because he was saying kind of like when you're an employee, sometimes you get into that employee day-to-day mindset, and it kind of becomes mundane because you don't have any challenges anymore. And what we found with coaching is we were finally kind of challenging ourselves to do things that were way outside of our comfort zones. And that's what's really made us into better people, I think, too. And we're determined to change the world. I think that sounds crazy, whenever you read it, but that's the truth. We really are setting out. It started with Sean, then Jason, then me, and now here we are with almost 1,000 coaches, in such a little time. And we're ranked number 95 in the entire company of 420,000, I think now, or something. So that's just insane to think about that. So we are, setting a really good standard for health and fitness in the world.
And the reason why is it's not a secret. It's not people that we knew before we started. It's the fact that we just, Brooke and I said to ourselves, we just had a ridiculous belief in what we were doing. And that was it. It was like, we didn't care what people were saying that were maybe naysayers or people that had preconceived notions of sales. We knew what this was. And we're like, we're going to help as many people as we can. That's it. There's just no other option.
We didn't even know what we were doing. We had belief that whatever we were doing was going to work and help other people. We still didn't really know what the heck we were doing. And that's what's important.
We're still learning along the way.
I still don't know. There are days now where I still am like, I really don't know how to do that. And that's what's fun about it all. So there are different coaching levels, and we like to break it down into 3 levels. So your first level of coaching, so if you're thinking about, okay, I'm thinking this is for me, but I don't know if I want to go all in, you might be like a loyalty coach. That's like level number 1. And that just means you love Shakeology, or you haven't had it yet, or you haven't tried the products yet, but you just want to get a 25% discount on that and other products. And you might share it with your friends and family, and how they showed in the video, you just send them to your website, and you get 25% commissions. And if you share with 3 people, your Shakeology is paid for each month. So that's kind of like the loyalty coach. So someone who loves the products, falls in love with the products, and just wants a discount. Then we have a part-time coach. So this would have been kind of me when I started. I basically just wanted to earn a little bit extra to kind of create a little bit of a cushion for myself, because I was just so strapped and I had to sell my house. We were just talking about this the other day. I had to, get rid of my car. I was selling things out of my house because I was literally asking my parents for money, and I was so independent. For me to have to ask my mom and dad for money was completely humiliating, especially being in the hygiene position that I was. even though I was making, a pretty good income, it was just gone before I could even spend it on anything. It was like every month I was falling more and more behind. And I signed up to coach on credit cards because I was so determined that this was going to work. And I just thought, worst case scenario, I lose out on a program, that I purchased to sign up. And I wanted to create more freedom. I wanted more time off. I wanted to be with my family more. My sister went into labor, and I actually almost missed her labor because they wouldn't let me take off work. And that was like one of the first realizations that I had to make a change. And over time, there were little things that kept happening where I just thought, I need this freedom for myself. And then you have an all-in coach. So this might be someone who's like, I just want to go full force with coaching. This wasn't me. And what level were you?
I would say I was always, between two and three because I was always maximizing my hours.
You're just always all in.
I'm just always all in, 100%.
So all in is basically all of number one and number two. But basically you are looking to become a full-time coach at some point. And I'm going to move this little thing here just so we can see it a little bit better. There we go. But also becoming your own boss, leading and inspiring a team, possibly in the future. So doing what we're doing, don't worry, this is down the road, but just doing things where you're actually building kind of a team and a community down the road, and you're looking forward to that, and working from home. And that's kind of what we do now, and more freedom. So you can kind of think in your head, well, which one would I want to be if I decide to sign up?
And you should also know that if you love your job, like myself, my mentality was all in. But I never, and I still, I'm doing surgery cases. I see patients now. Like, I will never quit my job no matter how much coaching is. So it really just depends on your situation. There's something like Chris Ballmer, who is, and so it's one of those things that you have the option to really create the track that's comfortable for you.
Yeah. And I always like to say, like, we aren't ever talking people out of like their job that they're doing now, but if you love it. It's just, I got kind of to the point where I was getting really burnt out on hygiene. And that's why I became the all-in coach. Or I would have probably just stayed in the part-time, coach, and just earning here and there and having fun and paying off some bills. Oh, hold on. Whoops. Okay, there we go. So what do we do as coaches? So the big things that coaches do are share and they learn. Those are the big parts of coaching. So we're always sharing, we're always learning. So by sharing, we just mean sharing your products. So you're being a product of the product. So you're making sure that you are using the products and getting results, your own results. And we don't talk about physical results, how you feel too, more energy. So if you're like, well, I'm already kind of in shape, that's perfectly fine too. It's just doing what we do and sharing that. We host challenge groups. So when you first start as a coach, you always host one usually with your coach or myself, and you just add people to that group who also want to try out the programs and drink Shakeology and get results as well. And those are where kind of like the magic happens. The challenge groups are kind of like our bread and butter. And I think everybody who's a coach on this call can agree that that's like where you really connect with people. And when you see people get results, it's just like addicting. When someone who you have signed up with a program has an amazing before and after and their whole mentality changes, it's just an awesome feeling. And then we also share the coaching opportunity like we're doing tonight. And with that, usually we host the call, or another Diamond coach on our team will host the call. And then you just invite some people to join us. And then as far as learning, we talked about personal development. We teach you social media stuff. We teach you how to invite, and we give you all the training. So don't ever think that when you sign up, you're left hung out to dry. We actually, walk with you step by step in those beginning stages. So what are the rewards of coaching? So gifts and trips. So actually we're in 2 weeks getting ready to go on a cruise, Caribbean cruise. This will be our third trip with Beachbody that has to do with us just helping other people. So we get paid for a trip. Recognition. So recognition would be, as you advance in your business, they will send you gifts and recognize you amongst the company. And that's something that people don't make a big deal out of sometimes, but I just struggle to get a pat on the back sometimes as a hygienist.
I give you a pat on the back.
But, the first dentist that I worked for, it was very rare that he said, good job. And I was someone who kind of just needed that feedback. And so it's really cool to work for a company who I don't even have to ask how I'm doing. They let me know. And they are over abundantly always giving us recognition and rewards. money and freedom. So, I like to say that freedom is different to everybody. Freedom might just mean having a little bit of extra savings for you guys to go on a family trip. That might be what freedom is to you. Or it might be complete freedom and being able to financially, with Jason kind of losing his job at that point in time, it was really nice for me to have that income and the freedom for us to just say, okay, we're okay. It's not a big deal. Then let me move this. And then joy. So sounds kind of cliche to have for one of your rewards to be joy, but that is, the true purpose of why I do this. Whenever I started, it was to earn a little extra income here and there, but then it became completely addicting because I felt so good about helping other people and helping them get results. And that just filled up my cup. And I could never imagine not being a coach because of the way that it makes me feel to see challengers succeed and my own coaches, to see my coaches get a paycheck. I mean, that's just huge. And to see my coaches send me a message that says, somebody just sent me a message that said I changed their life. I mean, that is just, you can't replace that feeling. And I want everybody to feel that way.
A lot of times we ask people, how would your life change if you made an extra $100 a week? If you made an extra $250 a week or $1,000? Imagine how much your life would change even with just $250. And that's really where it starts.
So these are just some of the free trips that we went on and some of us coaches on the team. And then that lower middle picture, that was actually my coach Danielle and I. Out of all the coaches in the network, we were two of 10 that got to eat lunch with our Carl Deichler, which you saw in the video, which is our CEO, for helping as many people as we could before we went on our last Success Club trip. And so that was a special moment to be able to sit next to him because he's such an inspiring person. But just to be able to go on trips with all these people who we never knew before Beachbody. And it's so funny that now I look at them and I'm like, these are our friends. We actually have kind of like a social group all over the world now that we can connect to people. And when we travel, I'm like, oh, so-and-so lives here. So it's just really cool to have those experiences. So how do we earn? They kind of talked about this in the video. Commissions, pretty straightforward. From our sales, like if you recommend, say your sister wants to buy a 21-day fixed program, you're going to get 25% of that on everything. And then the club membership, which is actually the Beachbody On Demand, which you might know about. It's like our online streaming of workouts. You get 40% of those. And then challenge pack commissions, you actually get a little bit more of a percentage. So remember, the challenge pack is basically a program and Shakeology. So that's kind of your sales part of it. And then from your team. So this is as you grow, the majority of your income, I would say 95% of my income now comes from how my team is doing and how many people they're helping. So that's why it's important that I teach them kind of how I do it. And that's what's really cool about it too, is I finally feel like I'm important. I feel like I'm in a leadership role to help other coaches and help other people as much as I can. And if I teach them how to do that, we're going to help more people. And then quarterly, there are quarterly bonuses as you advance in your business, which can be very high bonuses. And a couple coaches and myself have been able to receive those. And then why us? So why is our team different? I look at this picture and, it's really funny. That was last year, so 2015. In 2014, this was at our coach summit in Nashville. In 2014, there were only 4 of us at the summit. And then this year here, 2015, last year, we had more than that. They're not even all pictured, but I think we had like up to 35 people. And that just shows kind of our growth. But you also see that we are a mix of guys and girls and husband and wife teams, because a lot of teams are heavily dominated with women and just women, which makes it a little bit awkward, if you have a spouse that wants to kind of get in on the business. But we really do have a good mix of guys and girls. So it helps with that kind of, your mix of everything. So you have different opinions, and if there's a program for men out, he can attract people that way. And then if he has a woman that he's talking to that needs help with something, I can help. Like I said, we were number 95 out of 400,000 this year. We were an elite team, which is the top 0.001% of the company. Something like that. And we were one of the top teams for growth this last year, which is awesome because we still are very, very new as a team. So who are we looking for? We're looking for these types of people. If you possess these qualities, awesome. And I would guarantee if you're on this call, you definitely do, because the person who invited you saw something in you that they really do think that you possess to be an amazing coach. And, you might feel like, well, I'm not very motivated right now because I fell off my own fitness plan. You can get motivated pretty quickly, whenever you start one of these programs. But those are just kind of the things that we look for in coaches. And I would guarantee that you possess a few of those or all of those. So what do you expect from us as your team? I think I accidentally wrote all over this. I don't know how I did that. But anyway.
The annotate button.
Yeah.
It's very excited.
Well, I get out of breath. I'm sorry if I'm out of breath, guys, because it's the pregnancy. It's just like, drives me crazy. So I promise I'm not like dying over here. But anyways, we're always learning and sharing. We have like a private Facebook group that all of our coaches are in, and we host like little training groups every once in a while. And then we have new coach trainings for everyone. And then amazing training. We really do have awesome training. And I wish that, sometimes people could see, like, we're in some groups where it's the top coaches in the company, and, the top coaches are asking what we're doing because they see us growing. So it's pretty amazing that we have that. And then support and mentor. So as I'm gonna move this over here. There we go. So as your sponsors, like if your sponsor signs you up, they're going to mentor you. You're not going to be left behind, and you have us. You have our whole team. It's not just them. And then team calls and webinars. So today we have a webinar that you can invite people to, but we also have one-on-one team calls with people for training as well. And so I always like to bring this up.
I love this one.
I don't know how to erase all these red marks. But anyways, we always get this. Is it a pyramid scheme? First of all, pyramid schemes are illegal. We actually watch a lot of shows, and it's funny, watching the pyramid. What is that show that we watch?
The Sharks?
No.
I don't know.
That's not even close. No, it's like the scammers, whatever it is. Anyway, it's on like...
Oh, yeah, MSNBC.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
She knows all about Bernie Madoff now.
So it's so funny when people say this. All I can think of, I'm like, oh my gosh, you really think that that's us. So first of all, a pyramid scheme is illegal. We obviously are not a pyramid scheme. And I always like to show this because over here to the left, you have the Beachbody structure, which kind of looks like a pyramid. But let's go over here to look at a corporate structure. Doesn't it look like a pyramid too? So the really cool thing about Beachbody is that the person who's up there at the top, so say myself, you can surpass me. You determine your own income. You determine how well you do. Not just because you signed up under so-and-so and so-and-so does that make you successful. You make you successful. Of course, there are benefits for signing up on a team that's growing, but you can surpass the person above you. Now, if you look over at the corporate structure, the department managers there at the bottom, very unlikely for them to ever make more than the CEO, right? So to me, that's more of a pyramid scheme than actually Beachbody. So when people say that, I'm like, so what do you think a corporation is? It is pretty much looks like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, and for those guys that don't know, a pyramid scheme is where you have a pyramid structure and people get paid to sign up distributors underneath them, and there's no transfer of an actual product. There's no viable product. So for instance, if I signed up Brooke and Brooke signed up somebody else, that there was no products, I just make money on signing her up. That's illegal. Obviously with Beachbody, there's products and services.
Right. So you're never going to be in that type of issue. But we do hear that all the time because it's such a malinformed thing. It's just something that you hear a lot of. And I always, because I was in dentistry, I like to use a dental little demographic here. But if you look down at the bottom, the assistant very rarely will ever make more than the owner of the dental practice or the dentist. So kind of the same thing if you want to think about that. But it's not a pyramid scheme where you, like he said, I sign him up and make money and there's no products exchange or anything like that. And regardless if somebody signs up to coach or if they sign up as a customer, we earn the same. Doesn't make any difference. So Beachbody growth, so back in 2007 is where all the coaches started. So there were only 14 coaches back in 2007. And then you can see how much we've grown over to 2015. And now we're at 400,000 coaches, which is awesome. Expansion is coming. So we are here in Louisville, Kentucky, but we are, like I said, kind of all over the U.S. and Canada. We are not international yet, but we plan to be within the next 1 to 2 years, which is huge for our network, because that means a lot of people are going to be kind of looking for a coach or looking to join the company. And we have already been doing marketing over in Europe for the last year. P90X is there. All of our programs are in Europe already, just to get the name and the brand out there, so that when the Team Beachbody coaching opportunity opens up there, people have already started doing those and they're interested in it. So that's pretty amazing.
And there's a good reason for them doing that, is that they've got control. There's so many other companies, direct selling, network marketing, or whatever, where they just became international right away. And there's millions of distributors, and they have no control over who's doing it right, who's doing it wrong. And that's, it's really nice that Beachbody is doing it the right way.
And they're still privately owned, so all the decisions are made with our CEO. So that's pretty much like all the decisions are made right there. And they're very smart on what they choose to do. And they just love everything about the company and don't want anything to hurt the integrity of the company. So they're very careful on the next steps that they take. So there's 4 key ingredients to being a successful coach. Jason already talked about one, which is a belief, a strong belief, not only in the products, but really having belief in yourself. You don't need to be a fitness and health expert, but you need to have belief that you have the ability to change someone's life just by talking to them, being a friend, listening, and helping guide them to a product or service that can help them. A strong why, so why you're doing it. For some people, that why might be, I just want to earn a little extra income. And that why also might be, I want us to get out of this health and fitness rut, and I want to be held accountable to myself. Excuse me. So that might be your why as well. As long as it's something that keeps you moving forward in the business and on your own health and fitness journey. Commitment. So a commitment that you won't give up, because coaching isn't easy, because we're not employees. We're not employed by someone else. There's not going to be someone checking in with you every day saying, did you work today? Did you talk to people today? Did you do your workout today? We do that in our challenge groups. But you're going to be responsible for your own journey and your own success. So you have to be committed to that. You also have to be coachable. So that just means, you're moldable a little bit, for us to just reach out to you and say, hey, I saw you do this. That's awesome. I would recommend maybe doing it this way. So just being coachable.
I remember when my coach sent, when one of my mentors I was talking to, was an orthodontist, actually, Wayne Wyatt, one of the first things he said to me is, before starting, before I knew anything, he said, you've got to commit to me that you're going to be here in a year, no matter what. And so it was like, then it was just easy. Like I knew, okay, well, there's just no option to quit it. This guy's 6'6". He'll come to my house and kill me. And so I'm here for a year. That's it. All right. Might as well make it work.
And Danielle, one of the coaches on our team, who just went full-time coaching after a year and a half, I think, almost 2 years, she was kind of the same way. Her husband and her just kind of said, we'll do this for 6 months to a year and we'll commit to that. And if it doesn't work out by that point in time where we're actually seeing a benefit from it, then we're out. And I was completely okay with that, because I knew that they were committed and they were going to make it happen. And here they are, replacing her income and hopefully replacing his soon as well.
There's so much strength in that too. I mean, every coach of ours that have committed to that be here in a year have been successful.
Yeah. So these are just some of the social media outlets you can use. So if you browse Pinterest often, you can actually build your business through Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I happen to build mine from Facebook or YouTube, but really, like Jason does well on LinkedIn and things like that. But we have training that helps you kind of get your story out there in a way that's non-salesy, that makes you feel comfortable. We never push you to do anything. We just kind of say, this might be what you want to do as far as training.
And I like meeting people in real life. That's my huge thing.
Yeah.
And airplanes.
Face-to-face is the best way, but we know in this digital age, it's kind of hard to do. And I'm introverted, so I run from people most of the time. I don't really anymore. But I used to. I wouldn't want to make eye contact with people in the grocery store because I would be afraid they were going to try to start a conversation with me. But
my
now,
avocado.
So anyway, so what are your steps as a new coach? So it's really quick. You just enroll online. You pick out your program and your Shakeology to start with. Then you're going to get a welcome email from your coach or myself if I signed you up. And that welcome email is going to contain some important action items just to kind of get your website set up and everything like that. Then you usually have a coach call. And that's just to kind of get you started right with your coach. And then your training, you'll start with your self-paced kind of training. We have a 7-day training where we really want you guys to just go at your own pace. We don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed. There's no fail or pass on that. It's basically you do it or you don't. And then support. So we are always here as continued support as your mentors. So here are your sign-up options. So the very first option, this is the one that I highly recommend, and it's the one that I always tell my coaches to get because it's the best deal. It's a Showcase Challenge Pack. It is $295. You save $150. And remember, this $295, it's all for products. You're not paying to sign up. It's actually free to sign up. That's why it says in the bottom, free. So with Beachbody, you don't hold products in your house. You never buy a bunch of stuff and then you have to sell so much of it. There are no commitments like that. You're never locked into anything. You never have to have a minimum sale or anything like that. So don't think about that either. That doesn't exist. So what comes with the Showcase Challenge Pack? You get 3 of our most popular programs. So the 21-Day Fix, PiYo, and Sanity Max 30. And I always say if you already have one of those programs like 21-Day Fix, it's nice to go ahead and get that challenge pack because you can use that to gift it to someone in your family to try out for results and testimonials and things like that. You also get a 30-day month supply of Shakeology of your choice. You get a Shakeology sampler. You get Shakeology totes, which are just like grocery totes, welcome guides, product catalogs, and 30 days of the club membership on demand, which are the live streaming of workouts. And then the middle option, this is another popular option, it's just a challenge pack. So that usually ranges, depending on the program, from $140 to $205, depending on what the sales are for the month. Ours are getting ready to end here soon at the end of the month. So make sure if you're wanting to join with 21-Day Fix, 21-Day Fix Extreme, lots of awesome programs that are on sale this month. So you get your choice of a fitness program, your Shakeology, and then the 30 days of the membership. And again, it's free to sign up to coach at that point in time. Then this is the option that I don't recommend doing, is not, they just sign up without a challenge pack. You actually pay $39.95. The reason why I don't recommend that is because you're kind of throwing away $40 when you could just sign up and get the sign up fee waived and get your program and your Shakeology at that point in time. And if you've been on Shakeology in the past, you can actually just cancel that order and just re-sign up as a coach.
And the reason why is because as a coach, you're a representative of the products and the services. And so that's what we do. We demonstrate the products and services and the wide variety of things that they offer. And so that's why purchasing one of the, especially the Showcase Challenge Pack, it's great because it really shows that you're vested and you're all in.
So coaching costs, there's a business service fee, and you know that you saw in the video where they talked about the websites, and they do like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of advertising for us, but they also do other things. So they have a support staff. So when your customer has an issue or anything like that, they might come to you and say, hey, I had this issue, but we're not the ones fixing it. It's the person who, it's Beachbody, and they can actually contact customer service 24/7. So it's not really us needing to do that. Again, we don't hold anything in our house. Everything ships from the company. So they take care of everything. But you also have kind of like legal and compliance stuff that $15.95 a month pays for as well. Now, if you are military or active duty and veterans or spouses, it's free. So it's important to know that your coaching fee is completely waived per month. And then the club membership, so you don't have to have this, but this is the club membership. It's $39.95 a quarter, and that's where you get the live streaming. What's really cool about that is when you're signed up with the club membership, you are able to kind of test all of the workouts. So then when people are starting to talk to you and they're interested in maybe joining one of your challenge groups as a customer, you're able to say, oh, you know, I know that program. Let me kind of look it over and try it out. So you can really just kind of test all of the programs.
And I'll give you an example. 2 days ago, I was in Subway, and I was talking to the guy that was checking me out, and he was telling me, we started talking about P90X because I had a Shakeology hoodie on. And I was able to just pull out my phone and show him that you can get everything streaming online now, and he signed up to be a club member. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I wasn't a club member. So.
And I think it's important too, I didn't mention this before, but we actually get free customers from the company. So when Beachbody said they do that $100 million in advertising, those people who go on, you know, the infomercials and call in to order are automatically assigned a coach randomly. Now, the coaches who get to be a part of that lead wheel, I guess you would say, are the coaches who have the club membership and who are constantly helping other people, which is easy to do. It's just like 3 people a month that you're helping. And that club membership, they want you to have that just so that you do have a good background and you can walk them through that. So if you can't walk someone through it if you don't have it, but it's pretty amazing that I looked the other day and I've had like over 100 free customers just from Beachbody. And these are people I would have never known. And they just buy stuff and I get commissions off of it because they went on a commercial and saw it. So we are ready for some questions. So let me move this stuff around here. No questions? Come on, guys. Where's our chat box? Let's see.
A chat box?
There is a chat box. Nobody has any questions. You can also unmute yourself and ask any questions that you might have as well. I know that we tried to talk really fast. Hey, it's 8:58.
We did good.
We did good because normally we go over.
If I'm
I know. I have to be careful when Jason's on here. I have to cut him off sometimes. So I think, you see some questions over here to the side. Since there's no questions, I'll just kind of go over some of the most common questions that we tend to get. And one of those is, what if I fail? And I think that so many people are afraid of failure because they, maybe they tried something in the past that maybe left them kind of burnt. And they kind of feel like, well, if I do this and I proclaim that I'm doing this and I post on my Facebook that I'm doing it, then I fail, what happens then? And I think that's a legit fear that a lot of people have. But, I told someone yesterday, it's like, but what if you don't fail? What if you fail a little bit and you learn so much from it that you keep wanting to fail and better yourself? And that's what coaching really is. You're going to fail. You're going to screw up things. And, just the other day, one of our coaches was like, oh my gosh, I copied and pasted an email and the email had a different name at the top of it. People, it's fine. That's fine. People do not care, what those mistakes you make. They just care that you care about them. So I think that it's so important to remember that. So what if I get rejected? I think that that's a common fear that I had. I was afraid of what my community of friends would think about me. We were living down in Jeffersonville. I didn't have a big community there locally, but my community was kind of still online. It wasn't huge, but that was kind of how I connected to people. And I knew to build my Beachbody business, I'd have to post about my workouts and I'd have to post what I was doing. So I was afraid that people would like block me or delete me as friends and things. And, I just came to the point where the people who were important needed to see it. And that's all that mattered. And that's what I had that belief that I'm here to help people and that's my mission. And if people can't see that, then that's their own issues. And I get rejected. People say no all the time, but I have to remember that they're saying no to their own health and fitness or their own struggles. They're not saying no to me. I have a solution to help them because maybe they came to me and said they needed help with something, but yet what I have, maybe they said, oh, that's too expensive. Well, you just came to me and said that you're miserable. Is $140 enough to get you not to be miserable? So I have to think about that instead of thinking they're saying no to me. No, they're actually saying no to the service I provide because they still like me as a person. They just maybe they don't agree with something that they want to buy from me.
We get no's every single day. The difference now is that we're just a lot better with shaking it off and keep moving forward as we realize I want to know what sandwich you got. Thank you. I'll answer that in just a second.
Okay.
Is that now we've just gotten a lot better with failure. We realize that, again, just like Brooke said, is that they're not saying no to us, they're saying no to the opportunity. And one of my coaches just asked me what sandwich I got, and I got the 6-inch turkey, sir, with spinach and jalapenos and mustard on Holy.
I used to work at Subway in high school, so I cannot eat Subway anymore after working there. It's just not fun. So what if I get made fun of? Again, that kind of goes with rejected. I think that that's a fear a lot of people have. They're afraid that what people will think of them. And I think that doesn't really go away for good until you've really kind of gotten your confidence up. And that didn't happen for me until I was about a year into the business. Sure, I thought people, at work were like, oh, what are these containers? What is this girl doing? And it really sucked, going into lunch and everybody else is going out to eat, fast food. And I was saying, no, I'm sticking to my nutrition. But what ended up happening is it transformed my whole office. And then they were staying there for lunch, and they were wanting to do Shakeology. And I saw, like, this is the bigger impact I'm making. Even if they weren't doing what I was doing, my programs or anything like that, they were still making healthier choices. So those people who make fun of you, that you think are making fun of you, it's usually because they have some things they need to work on. They're just not ready yet. And they're not making fun of you. They're kind of, it's like a, what would you call it? A kind of a mirror. You're sometimes mirroring the thing that they should be doing, and that scares them.
People put people down so that it makes themselves feel good.
And people don't like change, especially spouses, significant others. Luckily, we did this together, but a lot of times coaches will sign up and they'll be like, my husband's just not on board. And that's fine. It's not because they aren't proud of you or they don't believe in you. It's just because they don't understand all about it yet.
You did what, baby? Beachbody?
I'm scared of being and also because they love you and they don't want to see anything happen that kind of makes you feel bad or anything like that. So they're kind of just looking out for you. And then what will others think of me? Kind of the same thing. And then what if my spouse doesn't approve? That's, I remember, like, I see Kelly Underwood on the call. I remember when Kelly was on our call back in the day, like, her and her husband were on the call. And it wasn't that he didn't approve. He just had a lot of questions and just wasn't so sure about it. And that's completely fine. And we are happy. Jason and I can always meet with you and your spouse and kind of talk to you more about it as well. And hopefully that can kind of clarify some things too. Or you can just show them this video and maybe some of their questions will get answered. What if I'm not good enough? I think that a lot of coaches who sign up who are brand new feel like they don't have a lot to offer, and that's completely untrue. We all have something to offer, whether you believe it or not. And we kind of help you dig that out of yourself through personal development, and you just working on yourself. And you'll find, like, when you do your workout program and complete an entire program from start to finish, you find out a lot about yourself, and you can offer inspiration more than anything. So anyway, guys, I think that's about it.
I want to add one last thing.
I knew that.
One last thing is that, to me, after 2 years, one of the most amazing things that's happened between Brooke and myself is, if we would have never done this, I would have continued on with my pediatric dental career.
We would have gotten married.
And we probably would have married some other dude. No, but she would still be a hygienist and probably going back and forth. And what this has allowed us to do is it's allowed us to actually create something together. And that's pretty amazing, is that, that's what we have spouses for. And we actually learn how to amplify each other and work on our strengths and work on our weaknesses. And so, who better to help you than the person that you're spending your life with? And it's, in essence, it's going to be a wonderful example to our children.
And I think that we talked about this before, but within personal development, communication, like just him and I, our relationship changed dramatically when we started working on ourselves as individuals. We weren't working on things together necessarily, but through me personally developing and reading 20 minutes a day of personal development or listening to it in my car when I felt like I didn't have the time to, it really changed my reactions to him, and kind of fulfilling people's needs, which actually meant his needs as well, as a partner. So, there's a million benefits to coaching. But anyway, guys, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for getting on here. If you were on the call, I'm actually going to make a post into our event page. And if you're on the call, just put like a little thing said, I was on the call. If you're not already a coach, that is. So that we can do some door prizes. So that I always like giving away prizes.
Prizes are good.
So then we'll just do a random name picker and pick some people for some prizes. And if you want to get the recording, I will also post that. But if you have any other questions, feel free to post them in that event page so that we can all chime in, or just contact the person who sent you here. So thank you so much for your time and have a wonderful night, you guys. Bye.